Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at burst mode and how you can complete the burst mode against the legendary Goku event with a score of 6,000 relatively easily. So for this, the predominant choices we've taken are to do a team built on target Goku that has only physical units. In terms of the boosts, we've gone for the lowest we can in terms of attack and defense and health to make life a little bit easier. And then of course we've chosen to use one support item, which will be a Whis item, and this item we will be making sure that we use during the strength Goku phase. So because we've elected to have a target Goku team, and because we've gone full physical, I decided to use a couple free-to-play units here to make the team a bit more accessible. What you will need here is either a friend physical cooler, final form cooler, or you'll need a friend metal cooler, preferably at 100%. Either of those will be fine. If you find the friend metal cooler, then you have a little bit more access to a higher stat lead, but you should be able to do it with either of them. Now the rotations are very set and very simple. One rotation will be the Super Strike Frieza, Mecha Frieza, alongside the Super Strike King Cold, and the other rotation will be a physical metal cooler alongside physical final form cooler. That's going to be your set rotation so that you can make things work a little bit easier. You're then going to float the movie hero or movie boss's golden Frieza, and you're going to float the metal cooler physical, which you get from the 9 billion power event. The only other summonable unit on this team, or the only two summonable units on this team, are the physical final form cooler lead and the resurrected GT Frieza, I believe it is, or GT Frieza Angel, or Frieza Angel GT, whichever one it is. Those are the only two summonable units on this team. You could replace them with any other physical target Goku unit, especially if you find a friend 100% final form cooler lead. I highly suggest that you give gear to all of these units, preferably crit, because that's going to help us get through the strength phase as fast as possible. But if we can't get through the strength phase, you're going to want to have some dodge maybe to deal with the strength UI and his attacks. Throughout the whole event we're generally fine. Both rotations are very strong defensively. The friend LR Metal Cooler recovers a lot of health for us. But what we do suffer from in terms of our team is again just obviously dealing with that strength UI phase. So that's where the Whis comes in handy, and it's why we've elected to use one support item. And as soon as we enter that strength phase against UI Goku, we will be pumping both Whis sequentially. Now the strength UI Goku phase you can fail. It depends a lot on how lucky you get with the final form cooler and his crits. I would suggest if you have a metal cooler, LR, and you're using him as your lead, that you take a friend final form cooler if you don't have him. The reason being is final form cooler can fire up to 4 super attacks in a turn, and you can build him to have very good crit chance. He is a very big portion of the damage that we'll need to take out the strength UI phase. Once you get past the strength UI phase, generally speaking, you're just far too strong for the MUI phase, because obviously MUI Goku is then at that point full int, which means we have complete type advantage over him, so you don't really need to worry about items or anything. If you can, save the metal cooler core active skill for the MUI phase, because it's a guaranteed hit and it'll do quite a lot of damage to him. However, if you need it to get through the strength UI phase, then you can do that as well. It's really not a big problem. But yeah, generally speaking, this team does fine. Mecha Frieza will take a little bit of damage before he fires off his super attack, because obviously a large portion of his defense kicks in when he performs a super. And King Cold will take quite a lot of damage from supers, but he should be fine the whole way through. He won't get you killed, and he's a good support for the rotation. So then, in terms of the rest of the team, there's not too much else. The GT Frieza will take a decent chunk of damage most times, just because he's probably defensively the weakest, and he's always off rotation because of this, because he really is just not, he's not up to speed to take on the event. But in general, you should be fine. The Frieza, the golden Frieza that you can get from the Super Broly movie event, he's okay. As long as he takes a couple of hits early on to build up his defense, and that can combine with his damage reduction, he's generally fine. Like, he comes out looking more than fine. So yeah, beyond that, I would say that pretty much covers everything you need to know. In terms of the modifiers, I showed them earlier on, but please make sure that you tick that you have one support item. It's very, very important for the strength UI phase. And then secondly, also make sure that you tick the boss nullifies attack reduction and defense reduction, because very soon in the legendary Goku event, the units tend to do that anyway. So you might as well have it ticked from the beginning. It's not really going to make a big difference. Beyond that, everything else works more than fine. Like I said, you might have to retry. I had to retry once for the strength UI phase, just because of how hard UI Goku can hit, and when he evades final form Cooler or you don't get crits, then it can be a bit too much of a slog, even with the 2 Whis items. But it only took one retry, and then it was all perfectly fine, so it ran pretty smoothly. Like I said, Final Form Cooler and the Metal Cooler will do so much of the hard work for you, especially against MUI Goku, so you shouldn't really have a huge issue. You can see here we got unlucky and missed the attack, but we'll finish it all off next turn, and that's that. So that's this burst mode done and dusted. Pretty straightforward, I would say. A very nice burst mode. It's cool. You can really push it as well if you want to. Give yourself a really big challenge, and kind of bring the LGE up to like a really high standard. But if you're looking to just clear 6,000 score, then this is going to be it for you. So yeah, but that's basically it from me. I hope this helps you guys in terms of your team build. I'll be doing another one with worthy rivals as well. But yeah, this should basically cover you for your attempts. I think it's also easier to do than worthy rivals. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, and if you need help, you can leave a comment as well. The only challenge you should have left is to clear it with a team of worthy rivals, and then that should be it for this burst mode. So yeah, pretty straightforward. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and bye.